Let's talk about space tourists.
Yeah.
Virgin Galactic has successfully flied tourists to space for the first time. An anonymous reader quotes a report from The Guardian. Virgin Galactic's VSS Unity, the reusable rocket-powered space plane carrying the company's first crew of tourists to space, successfully launched and landed on Thursday of last week. The mission, known as Galactic 02, took off shortly after 11 a.m. Eastern from Spaceport America in New Mexico. Aboard the spacecraft were 6 individuals total: the spaceplane's commander and former NASA astronaut C.J. Strucko and pilot Kelly Latimer, as well as Beth Moses, Virgin Galactic's chief astronaut instructor, who trained the crew before the flight. The spacecraft also carried 3 private passengers, including the health and wellness coach Keisha Shahaf, and her 18-year-old daughter, Anastasia Myers, both of whom are Antiguan. Antiguan?
I don't know what that means.
They're from Antigua. Galactic 02 is a suborbital flight. However, despite VSS Unity not reaching orbit, the trajectory allows passengers to experience several minutes of weightlessness at an altitude high enough for them to see the Earth's curvature. That's really cool. Space.com explains, following liftoff, Virgin Galactic's carrier plane VMS Eve transported VSS Unity to an altitude of about 44,300 feet. Eve then dropped Unity, which then fired its own rocket motor and ascended it to suborbital space. Passengers aboard experienced approximately 3 Gs. Live footage inside the spacecraft showed the passengers unstrapping themselves from their seats and peering out down to Earth through the windows as they floated throughout the spacecraft. Despite Galactic 02 being Virgin Galactic's second commercial spaceflight mission, it is the first flight to carry private customers. In June, Galactic 01 carried 3 crew members from the Italian Air Force and the National Research Council of Italy. According to Virgin Galactic, the company has already booked a backlog of about 800 customers, which, if you're just going 3 at a time, is going to take forever. Tickets have ranged from $250,000 to $450,000. Galactic 03, the company's third commercial space flight, is planned for September. So if you're doing these once a month, 3 people at a time, backlog is already at 800. Ticket is up to $450,000. They're going to be making bank on this.
Do you get to
I don't know how much of it.
prepay?
I think you'd have to.
Yeah. Because I feel like, that ticket, if you buy it now, it's a lot cheaper than if you wait and buy it in 5 years. When you get to go.
Scalp the ticket.
So how is
you
this?
Get there. I don't have my ticket. Do you have the QR code on your phone? Oh.
Is this the same thing that the Dude Perfect guys did?
It's similar. They didn't go to suborbital space. It's lower than that.
Okay.
It's enough that they can float a little bit. But I don't think that they were high enough to see the curvature of the Earth, from space, with dark sky.
I remember them floating around and stuff.
They did, yeah. I mean, you could do that in an airplane. You remember the OK Go video?
Yeah, that's true.
This is a bit different, higher. But yeah, okay. So Trishan just said a thing that was my thought. He says, "I'm guessing spaceflight is safer than going on a submarine." My thought, my note that I have here is, I know it's a completely different thing, but with what happened to that Titanic submarine a couple months ago, all of these experience things are very less appealing to me.
Oh yeah,
I'm terrified now of ever getting on anything of that nature, and something going wrong and exploding and collapsing it on itself. That's terrifying.
Well, I mean, that was it when we were in high school, maybe junior high. What was that flight to space? And the teacher won the award and was gonna get to go, and then they They had an accident and it all.
Was that Discovery?
I thought it was like start with a Columbia.
Oh, it's Columbia. You're right. Columbia.
Yeah.
Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrated as it re-entered the atmosphere on February 1st.
Yeah, and it had a
2003.
teacher on it. I remember there was like
man.
a guest with them. So it's like you win this awesome thing and you think it's going to be cool, and then that costs you your life. So it's kind of like, do you want to do that?
It had a teacher with them?
I thought so. Like, I thought I remembered that it was some teacher.
I don't see.
She's saying the Challenger. Is that what you're looking at?
Is it the Challenger that we're thinking of?
Maybe this.
So that was
different.
Columbia. Challenger happened in 1986.
Oh, okay.
Teacher. Oh, wait, no. Is that it? Oh, there was a teacher, but she was also a payload specialist. It says here.
Okay.
Teacher in space project and subsequent civilian shuttle space flights canceled. So yeah, she was an American teacher and astronaut from Concord, New Hampshire, who was killed in the Space Shuttle Challenger mission. She was serving as a payload specialist. But I guess that was part of that program, Teacher in Space Project.
Yeah.
Man.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
so that's that. There's that image, that classic image, yeah. Mm-hmm. Man. Yeah, so that kind of stuff is so scary.
yeah, it's like, experience and having fun and doing all that is good, but if that's the cost.
The chance, yeah.
I mean, the same, you can
little
argue,
yeah.
You have more of a chance of dying in a car wreck, you have more of a chance of doing
Oh yeah,
an
with
airplane.
Flying too, like
Airplane crash,
flying.
yeah.
Flying, you have
it.
you have a better chance of dying in a car than you do in a plane. But
I use
or
the
crashing
car
in a car.
to go to work. I'm not like using that space flight
Right?
as part of something I need to do.
Yeah. Let's move on to AI meal planning. This is interesting. So there's a supermarket AI meal planner app that is suggesting recipes that would create chlorine gas.
Oh,
This comes from theguardian.com. A New Zealand supermarket experimenting with using AI to generate meal plans has seen its app produce some unusual dishes, recommending customers recipes for deadly chlorine gas, poison bread sandwiches, and mosquito-repellent roast potatoes. The app, created by supermarket chain Pack and Save, was advertised as a way for customers to creatively use up leftovers during the cost of living crisis. It asks users to enter various ingredients in their homes and auto-generates a meal plan or recipe along with cheery commentary. It initially drew attention on social media for some unappealing recipes, including an Oreo vegetable stir-fry.
oh,
When customers began experimenting with entering a wider range of household shopping list items in the app, however, it began to make even less appealing recommendations. One recipe it dubbed aromatic water mix would create chlorine gas. The bot recommends the recipe as the perfect non-alcoholic beverage to quench your thirst and refresh your senses. Serve chilled and enjoy the refreshing fragrance, it says, but it does not note that inhaling chlorine gas can cause lung damage and death. New Zealand political commentator Liam here posted the recipe to Twitter, prompting other New Zealanders to experiment and share their results to social media recommendations, including a bleach fresh breath mocktail, ant poison and glue sandwiches, bleach-infused rice surprise, and methanol bliss, a kind of turpentine-flavored French toast.
wow. Tropic Turtle wrote down exactly what my brain did. My brain, what a good what? I was like literally gearing up to tell you, I hate meal planning. This is
would be
great. No.
In a statement, a spokesperson for the supermarket said that they would keep fine-tuning our controls of the bot to ensure it would be safe and useful. They noted that the bot should only be used by people over the age of 18, and that the recipes are not reviewed by a human being. Mm-hmm. None are appealing. Yeah, you're right. I think of all of them, I'd try the Oreo vegetable stir fry first, but I just think that's hilarious that they didn't have a safeguard in place of like, okay, well,
only
you can't add things
items.
that aren't food.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what's in my cupboard.
A turpentine flavored French toast. Oh gosh, that's dang funny. All right. Lastly, let's talk about Disney Plus. Disney Plus is following Netflix lead and will crack down on password sharing. On an earnings call Wednesday afternoon, Disney CEO Bob Iger announced the price is increasing for Disney Plus and Hulu. The ad-free plans for each service will go up over 25% next year. And that's not the only measure the company is planning to take to drive profit for Disney Plus. In news we saw first on IGN, the streamer will follow in Netflix footsteps. Disney will start cracking down on password sharing in 2024. Netflix's own efforts from earlier this year brought the streaming service 6 million new subscribers. So it's not a surprise to see Disney Plus copying the move. Iger said on the earnings call, we are actively exploring ways to address account sharing and the best options for paying subscribers to share their accounts with families and friends. Later this year, we will begin to update our subscriber agreements with additional terms and our sharing policies, and we will roll out tactics to drive monetization in 2024. CEO called it a priority, but also stated he doesn't know if it will meaningfully contribute to growth because, to that point, Netflix has been an established streaming service since 2007. Disney Plus launched in 2019. Mm-hmm. Disney service doesn't have even close to the same number of subscribers as Netflix. Doesn't have much to gain. But hey, maybe Disney Plus is applying this tactic in order to gain more profit that they will use to pay striking writers and actors. So, yeah. Bull from Disney is losing a ton of money already. Yeah, Disney Plus is hemorrhaging dollars. And this is kind of what I was saying is I honestly wonder how much longer streaming services are going to last. Mm-hmm. Not only are price hikes bringing us back to like cable plan pricing in the past, but at the same time, most streaming services aren't making any money. In fact, they're losing so much money. Almost every single streaming service is just bleeding money. And so it's a bad situation for all involved. We're not happy paying. It's, I mean, this Disney Plus, Hulu, Peacock, Netflix, all of them have raised their prices.
Right.
Max raises prices. And they're all getting rid of content at the same time. Like, well, not as many people watch this show. We're going to just take it off. Nobody can watch it now. No, you can't watch it ever. It's getting, I mean, cable prices were what? Between $50 and $150, depending on the packages you were using. So you want. They
could be like $200 to $300.
Yeah, that was for sports people, I guess. But for us, without the sports, it would have been lower.
I mean, you never had cable.
That's true. But it's the sports packages that usually drive it up. That's what Mo told me anyway. It's like the only reason that we pay X amount of dollars, they still have cables because they want to watch sports because it's not on streaming anywhere. But anyway, we're already getting to, if you want 2 streaming services, you're close to $50.
Right.
And most people want at least 3 or 4 of them so they can watch all of their shows whenever they want.
Right.
So we're really going to have to get to the point where, like, you can have Paramount Plus for this month. And then next month, we're moving to a different one. So we can all watch those. So binge everything you can now. We won't be back to Paramount Plus for another 6 months.
So you think people will be just, like, rotating through?
I think I'd have to, right? It'd be extra work.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing you lose all your... stuff.
It'd be extra work. Well, no, you can pause plans. Most of them anyway have a, pause your subscription, come back to it. And even if you cancel a subscription, your account details still stay there. And so when you log back in, you can just restart where you were. It'll keep all your stuff, at least for a time, I think. Because we've canceled a couple things before. We canceled Hulu because we were getting it for free. We're getting it for free. We canceled Hulu. And then we came back because we were given it for free again from Verizon. And all my
it was all
details, same email, same everything, all still there. And just like, all right, here we are now. So, I mean, that's really the only way I can think of, aside from just being a pirate and watching all your stuff from pirate websites, which nobody does. Nobody I know does. Nobody does that.
It's wrong. Nobody does it.
Nobody watches Strange New Worlds, not on Paramount Plus. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's sustainable, but I also don't know what would be next.
Right.
You know,
I don't see them going back.
I don't see us going back to DVDs.
No.
I don't see us going back to cable as it was before. But this isn't working. So, I don't know.